Hi, hello, buenos dias, aloha, guten tag, bonjour, ni hao, welcome to HowDoWeHuman.
Wow.
And if I didn't say a greeting in a language that you know, sorry. This is the podcast where we talk about all the weird and uncomfortable micro moments in life. I'm one of your hosts, Chris Binning.
And I'm one of your hosts, Evan Cox.
And today we're going to be talking about who knows what you're about to find out. We're about to find out. Evan, how you doing?
Hit him with that. How you doing? I'm doing okay. We went out and about the other day. I forget why. We had to go somewhere. We were in Crestline, maybe 20 minutes from our place. Driving around like a couple of ghouls. And, sometimes you're out doing something else, but you're in a spontaneous enough mood that and we see these a lot, but often we ignore them, when you drive past a bright piece of, not construction paper, poster board, and it says like yard sale or estate sale. Garage
sure,
sale.
Yeah.
Is it time to really consider whether it's worth having both garage sale and yard sale be used? Like, who gives a shit if it's in the garage or in the yard?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Am I crazy?
Do we need to investigate that?
We might need to investigate why location matters in a used shit sale. But this sign said estate sale. I feel like I'm lisping. I'm getting in my head.
This sign said estate sale.
I've mentioned
obviously we're saying
episodes.
Everyone with a lisp sounds like the Mad Hatter to us.
And yeah, if you do, hats off to you.
Yeah, and a very merry unbirthday.
And a very merry unbirthday. We never talk about the other guy at the table. What's
the
he,
March
a rabbit?
Hare himself?
The March Hare, that's him. Never comes up. Less memorable.
Yeah,
Is it because
I like
there's
the March Hare.
There's a little rabbit with a clock that's more memorable?
Yeah, I think that's a part of it. I also think that the March Hare just doesn't have the silly little voice that resonates through the decades.
But here's smart casting, because they did, they did Johnny Depp, who's the Mad Hatter in those live action movies.
They sure did.
Whatever. He's a fucking loon. Should they have counter cast the March Hare with like Jason Statham?
Oh, interesting.
Very merry on birthday to you.
I
All right,
think
listen
that
up.
they cast
Here's a cup
Michael
of tea
Sheen is who I think was the March Hare in those movies.
He's a silly man too.
Yeah, he's a silly man. It would be interesting to like really go nuts with the casting for that.
That would be fun. We should cast our own version. Maybe that's an episode.
Yeah.
We cast.
I was incorrect. incorrect.
God.
I'd like to come out and
David
say
Tennant.
that it was Paul Whitehouse is who's credited.
Who the fuck is Paul Whitehouse?
I don't know.
Get Statham in there, baby. And get me in these casting offices.
You know what? This proves your earlier point, though.
Yeah.
Because Michael Sheen was cast as the White Rabbit. The one that overshadows the March Hare.
Yeah. It's interesting. I don't know.
Something to think about.
Something to think about. I've never read Alice in Wonderland. I don't know the source material that well, so...
Yeah,
maybe there's something to be learned there.
I don't think I have either. For some reason, I have like a vague memory of like, maybe I read it, but at a certain point, it's like I saw the movie.
I've seen the animated movie, and I saw live the Dead Authors podcast, where they interviewed Lewis Carroll and learned a lot
I
from Rory Scovel.
yeah, I saw the animated movie. And I saw that Star Trek episode where they like basically go to Wonderland for some reason. And I've seen the Tim Burton movies and the sequel that he did not direct.
Did he not? I didn't know that.
He did not. It was James Bobin, I believe. Director of 2011's The Muppets.
Fascinating. Anyway,
you were driving around to an estate sale.
I was late for a very important date at an estate sale. I mentioned on previous episodes, I've grown to love an estate sale. And for those not really in the know, you can use estatesales.com or whatever. There's a website you can kind of track the ones in your area, and these are sales where optimistically somebody's retired. Less optimistically someone has passed away. And
I didn't even know that the retirement was an option. I thought it was strictly just a nice way to be like, this person died, do you want their stuff?
I didn't for the longest time, but outside of this one, the last estate sale I went to, the guy was there watching everyone buy his stuff. This old man in a wheelchair. And he was very nice, and everyone wanted to talk to him. And he's like, oh, yeah, that's my old tool set. I'm like, I'm not dead yet. Sometimes it's people going into a retirement home, and you'd be surprised when you go into a home and you just have a room. You can't bring all your stuff with you. You can't fit a house's worth of shit. 90 plus years of stuff into one room, so they got to get rid of stuff. And normally sometimes it's the family doing it, sometimes the family will hire a company to do it. This is more information than anybody needs, but the reason I like an estate sale is because you're gonna find stuff that otherwise is like, nobody would just like sell this. Like they want to keep it. They just don't have room anymore. So sometimes you find some nice shit, but also sometimes I find joy in getting to know this person who is either retired or passed away, and just seeing an entire person's bunch of shit they bought is interesting to me. So I've kind of grown to love them. A mildly morbid fascination, but I'm very respectful when I go in these people's houses. Now, this time, I hadn't known anything about it ahead of time. We just saw the sign, and it opened up my eyes. I saw the sign, and we pulled up. We had the dogs with us, so we weren't going to both go in. We didn't want to leave the puppies without air conditioning, so I just ran in. The big thing is we drove past, and there was a very nice, very comfortable looking chair out front. And we're like, we should take a look at that big, comfy chair, like a big reclining leather chair. So I took it upon myself to be the one to go. I go in, I'm checking this thing out. It's completely like fucked. Like the arm is coming off. And there's a woman there who's just like, oh yeah, all that needs is to be like screwed in the bottom. Otherwise it's in perfect condition. I'm like, how much do you want for it? She's like, $40. I'm like, you should probably screw that screw in then to prove to me, like, if it's that simple, someone should just fucking do it. Like, I'm not going to pay $40 for a broken chair. But so I'm kind of like looking around this garage, and it's a big house. I ended up walking through the whole thing. But while I'm in this garage, there were two older people looking on the shelves, like tools and things like that. And the woman who had talked to me, who's running the thing, I don't know her relation to the person, but she's the older man of the couple who was holding some item, asked a question about it, and the woman running the thing says, so, I don't remember the name, so I believe I'm going to use a fake name here. If I happen to nail it on the head and someone listens to this and goes, how dare you, sir? I tried to use a fake name. She goes, did you know Valerie? So already I'm assuming, all right, someone has passed.
Hmm.
And the couple turns around and they're like, yeah, we were friends. It's like, oh, sad. But then this woman goes like, "Did you hear what happened?"
Yeah, no.
And I'm
Now you
like,
gotta get a little. You can't leave now. You gotta.
shuffle, shuffle, shuffle.
I
Ears
was
up.
friends too.
Best friends. The wife of this couple decides this is the moment to really, really check out this massive set of wind chimes. She lifts up and starts ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding. Make sure everyone makes a big loud noise to make sure it works. She is hitting these fucking wind chimes through this whole conversation. I'm only able to get what I was able to get. And he's like, yeah, I did hear what happened. And she goes like, but did you know what really happened? And he's getting kind of like perplexed, like, yeah, like we were friends. I know what happened. And then ding, ding, ding. So I missed all of this middle part of the conversation.
Great.
She puts the wind chimes, or is still holding them, but clanking them less. And I don't know what's connected to what. All I got at this point was that, did you know Valerie's husband? And they're like, yeah, because apparently he had passed away like a year before.
Okay, so he probably didn't kill her. Probably.
So when I told Jocelyn this story, that is where her mind leapt as well. Of like, this sounds like someone was murdered.
Well, my initial instinct is that Wind Chime Lady did it because she's trying to
What's the deal with
to drown out any super sleuths from eavesdropping.
I put away my badge to make her less suspicious. But no, this woman was like, yeah, did you hear how her husband died? Like, yeah. And she said, Valerie always said it was COVID. And just kind of like stood there and rolled her eyes. Like, to me, my instinct was like, okay, these elderly people both died of COVID, and this woman doesn't believe COVID exists, or is an anti-vaxxer or whatever. She's like, what they died from was the vaccine.
Yeah.
Jocelyn still thinks it sounded like a murder situation. I don't know. Wind Chime Lady fucked me in a big way.
Yeah, this yeah, that's Wind Chime Lady. I think if it's a murder, I think Wind Chime Lady is suspect number one. But the way this story ends, I'm on the same page as you of like, oh no, this person just doesn't want to take the medical examiner's word for cause of death.
Yeah. And who better to run the estate sale? Just like existential is not the right word, because I'd say it's like a positive I take from it. But there is something to walking around estate sales after, when it is clear someone has passed away, and seeing like, listen, when we all die, they're gonna like sell all our shit to a bunch of who the fuck evers. Who knows? Our shit's just gonna go all over the place. We're not gonna know who's running it. It could be our greatest villain in life, selling all our cool shit for as cheap as possible. And it doesn't fucking matter. None of it matters. My shit doesn't matter. Let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like the idea, though, of like, if somebody's running your estate sale, they should leave little like mysteries to the shoppers of like, maybe there were mysterious circumstances that not that anything's haunted.
No.
But just to create a little intrigue.
I like this a lot. Like, people will talk about like planning their funeral to be like, oh, it's a party or whatever, or it's it's something I would love because I planned it. I want to plan my estate sale and just make it I don't know, something weird. Some like what do you call them? Like the plays where Tori used to do, where you're
Oh, the murder mystery
interacting.
dinners.
Essentially, yeah. Make a murder mystery out of it. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I think yeah, there is something interesting to that. Maybe that's you mentioned that some people just hire a company. Maybe our company
Ooh.
just people hire us to create odd stories about their family members that have either or if they're just going into a retirement home. It's like, hey, this person they can't be here for the sale.
Yeah.
We're gonna be telling people that you died under mysterious circumstances, even though you're just moving into a home 5 minutes away.
This is good. I like it.
Yeah, this is a good business.
HowDoWeHuman Industries. We'll tell you. How did you stop being human? But enough about estate sales. Though love them I do, and go participate. You know, you don't always have to buy new shit. Recycle old people's stuff. But I gotta ask, at some point before you die, Chris, how are you doing, and how's your estate?
You know, I guess in a way that will transition into sort of a thing that I was going to want to talk about, which is
Great.
I am still on the quest of finding a new apartment. We haven't like put in a 30-day notice or anything here, so we're not on like any sort of schedule, but
month to month.
Yes.
We haven't talked about this in a while.
Yeah,
and just assumed you were good.
Well, that's, I think, because my wife doesn't really want to move, but I do. So I keep looking. I think it's tough because, like, as we mentioned a while ago, my brother bought a house.
Yes. Yeah.
We went to go visit somebody in Big Bear who's paying less in rent than we are and has a house that they are renting in Big Bear.
Yeah.
And it's like, I want, much like the Little Mermaid herself, I want more. And so we're looking at 2 bedrooms. Every now and then I'm like, what's for sale if we were to like try to buy something?
Yeah.
And it's like nothing you can afford. So I go back to the renting page. But I found a house for rent in Glendale. Top of our budget, but it had everything that we were looking for. Air conditioning, more than one parking space, washer dryer in unit, a front yard and a backyard. I was like, let's check this place out.
Yeah.
And so I messaged them to request, like, hey, when are tours available? They get back to me. They ask a couple more questions of like, when are you looking to move? And I tell them. And then they come back with another question of like, how long of a lease would you like? It's like, we're looking to rent long term. Okay, well then, where are you living now? And I'm like, I'm not gonna play 20 questions with you. Like I asked,
you're Chris Binning.
I asked you, when are tours? And now you're asking me question after question after question. I don't want to rent from somebody like this who can't answer a question. It'd be one thing if it was like, hey, tours are at these times. Can I get, these questions answered?
Yeah.
One of the questions, but when I finally stopped responding, it was like I told them like, we don't have a specific date because we're not on a schedule, but if we like the place, it'd probably be at the beginning of next month. We go through a couple more questions, and then the next message, like several questions later, is like, what do you mean you don't have an exact move-in date? I told you that like 2 messages ago. And I know you can't read because you haven't answered my question at all, but
Oh my god.
this is incredibly annoying. And so I guess it's been little things like that. We did tour one place that was like kind of nice, but it was nicer in the listing than it was in person for a
Usually
couple different
is.
reasons. Yeah. But there was another place that I reached out to that got back to me really fast. Like within minutes of me being like, when are tours available? They email me, and I read through it and I'm like, oh, okay. The reason they got back to me so fast is this is just like a form email that when they get the tour request, they just send this thing out. And the only thing on there is like your name, and then everything else is ready to go.
Yeah.
But I respond to that email of like, hey, we can't make that tour slot because we're both working. Do you have other dates available? And then it's another like minute after I send that they send another email back with like multiple paragraphs. I'm like, this is quick. They are quick to respond here on a Saturday. A couple more. Like I think the next email I got, because we couldn't make any of those times, and so I was trying to coordinate a different thing. But it became very clear that I was emailing back and forth with an AI.
Delightful.
I saw a post that referred to these as clankers, a slur for
Just saw this as well.
Yes.
It's going around.
It is interesting, like the human desire to create a slur for another group, but it is a little funny, I guess.
I can get behind it. It doesn't feel good.
Yeah, but it's now like obviously a lot of the listings and things have AI sort of involved. Like you can see different they could be Photoshop also, I suppose, but you scroll through different photos and like here's the room empty and here it is with a bunch of AI decor and furniture. So it's the idea that I am going to have to talk to a robot to find a place to live is upsetting to me.
Sucks. What's this, smart house?
Yeah. The robots are already taking over our creative endeavors.
Uh-huh.
Now they got to take over being my landlord?
What if here's a question. I already started asking the question. I don't know why I had to stop it to say that here is a question.
Hey, by the way, here's a question.
I'm sorry, I went too fast. I'm about to ask you a question.
Yeah. This sentence that starts with what if, it's going to end in a question mark, okay? Here we go.
hate the idea of AI in a lot of applications in life. In its current iteration, often useless. In fact, I got some attitude for one the other day. I'm interrupting myself. Just yesterday, a Wilco song was in my head, and I was like, what album is that off of? I couldn't remember. And so I went to Google and just wrote the name of the song, Forget the Flowers. Forget the Flowers Wilco album. Because Google's fucking trained us this way. This is how you search for things. I used to search for things in full sentences back in the Ask Jeeves days because he wanted a question asked. Google wants you to just kind of use keywords, and it used to be able to figure it out. I got an AI response that said, actually, Forget the Flowers is a Wilco song, not an album. Okay. You pack that attitude up right the fuck now. I know I'm asking you what the album is. Anyways, So we've got this idea of what AI is, and it sucks. It
Yeah.
sucks to be around, and it really sucks to talk to. And the idea of an AI landlord is terrible. But what if you
Now,
had...
here's the question.
We're back to what if? Just a full-on robot landlord on site, literally clanking around. Like, ding, 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 ding. Is the rent ready?
Yeah.
This is a movie. I want a robot landlord.
Yeah, I do think that is a good movie idea. I think that a robot landlord is good and bad because it'd probably be great for repairs. Just,
True.
robot landlord shows up. Oh, here you go. Like drills something immediately or fixes something real quick.
Love that.
But I don't know. There's just always going to be the wariness of robots lording over me. I don't know about you, but I think that's a recipe for trouble.
It is, and I hate to be this simple-minded, but I genuinely do feel like what they all think, like, yeah, you know what, if you make... I think these companies are going along two different lines. One line is, because AI, we're used to what it is right now. It's essentially a chat bot on the computer. But the robot side of it, they've gone two different ways. One, this is something that will fucking kill you.
Yeah.
This is a menacing thing that we're going to put to war. And two, it's like a cute little thing.
Sexy.
It's sexy. I'm more thinking the delivery bots where it's like the headlights are its eyes and it's cute. I want to kick those things over. I don't like them. But I can be 100% bought over by like a clunky C-3PO-esque robot that like waddles back and forth when it walks. Very limited mobility, but can talk well.
Sure.
I might give away all my entire estate to a clunky robot. Give me clunky robots or give me death.
Yeah,
I think I'm simple-minded, and I love a clunky robot.
There is definitely something to that. I think that there's also like, look, I've been renting for over a decade at this point, and I think I'm a pretty good tenant.
Yeah.
So,
David?
Yeah. He's certainly the best, right? Can you think of any better tenants than David?
No, that's it.
But hey, I'm happy to take second place.
There's a movie called The Tenant by Roman Polanski. Is he on the list?
I think he's not as great of a tenant.
We'll have to ask France.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think that there is, the naive part of my brain is like, yeah, but the robots, when they take over, they know I paid the rent on time, so they spare me. Like,
yeah,
there is definitely that part of my brain.
We've all got it. I don't know.
I mean, that would be, of all the jobs that they could take, hey, to take a landlord position, that's not a real job.
That's kind of what I'm saying. Like, I would reach out to a robot so much faster than I reach out to my actual landlord. I don't want to have a conversation about it. Go back and forth.
You've convinced me. I think maybe robot landlords are okay.
We need to make a list of jobs that we're A-okay with robots taking over.
Yes.
Which would just be a list of people we don't want to talk to.
Yeah. That'd be a lot of positions of power, unfortunately. We'd kind of be setting ourselves up for the takeover.
Yeah.
Nobody thinks of it being like, everybody thinks that the robots rise up to take over. Nobody thinks that like we put them in places of power and then we're like, oh no, they're in control.
This is how it happens. Are we in a near future where we find ourselves voting between an extra Trump term versus this clunky robot? I would vote for a clunky robot for president. I'd get us there.
Yeah, clunky robot for president.
But anyways, that's not the world we're living in. We're living in a world of sexy, scary, and cute robots. And I don't give a shit about any of them. Maybe some of the sexy robots. I haven't taken too close of a look. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you feel this way, but you know, seeing like everybody's getting AI girlfriends and boyfriends, and we're making robots you can have sex with. Like that combined with like some of the dating shows like Love is Blind or Bachelor in Paradise, especially, like my wife and I are like, man, it feels like we got the last chopper out of Nam, getting like finding each other and being like, we don't have to deal with any of this.
It's maybe the end of humanity.
Yeah,
we're leading towards something bad.
Yeah,
we'll see what wins.
Yeah, what's gonna happen first? A fascist
full government takeover, every city,
robot takeover. We got a lot of
robot
options.
Takeover.
Yeah,
I get taken over by sexy robots.
Now we're talking.
We can make.
I, for one, welcome our sexy robot overlords.
Yeah, not opposed. I'm mostly joking here. I'm opposed to most of these things. I'm just here to say my brain is simple enough that a clunky robot can have everything I own.
Yeah. And for those sexy robots out there, hey, I hope you give those clunkers a chance, baby.
I hope you got a little clunk in the trunk. Is we did it?
I think is we did it is correct.
Is we did it, and is you did it. Congrats, you listened to another episode. It's How Do We Human, the podcast where we overanalyze all the weird and uncomfortable micro moments in life, and you can listen to it anywhere you listen to your podcasts. Or on Pocket Casts. That's where I listen. Not really. I listen in Premiere while I'm cutting it. You can't do that, though, so I take it back. Edit! Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, have at it. Leave us reviews, leave us ratings. You can follow us on social, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, at How Do We Human for all of those full video episodes on YouTube. And yeah, you can send us an email at howdowehumanpod@gmail.com. We are still in the process of getting this new podcast idea together. We're very excited about it. We have now recorded some audio, and we like it. So it's actually happening. Job. But in the meantime, we're just doing these mildly shorter episodes, and we hope you're still having fun with us. Stick around. There's exciting stuff to come.
And one of those exciting things is a little 5-question trivia quiz. Evan and I have each scored 100 points. And so we're in the tiebreaker match now in another race to 100. Who can get there first? Last week, of course, we were both tied at 0. This week, we're both tied at 2. So still even. Evan, I think that I think you're going to pull ahead on this one.
You always say that. It's always something that's adjacent to what I should know, and I'm wrong.
I think you do know this one. We'll see, though. Question number 1. Who played James Bond in the film You Only Live Twice? Pierce Brosnan, Roger Moore, George Lazenby, or Sean Connery?
It's like, I 100% know this. I know the answer. I'm looking at it right now. Sometimes when it's something you know is when you're just going to doubt yourself so hard. I just have to convince myself, yes, of course I know this. Don't change your mind. You know the answer. Ugh.
I don't know the answer, to be honest with you. And this is
twice.
Because a lot of the James Bond titles blend together for me. And this one especially blends with like
Die Another
Day.
No Time
which
to
I
Die.
do think I know who plays
Live and Let Die.
James Bond. Yeah, there's all these kind of same ideas behind the titles. And I'm just going to have to hope, I guess, that Die Another Day and You Only Live Twice are not the same James Bond. And I'm going to say, I think I'm wrong, but I have my answer.
I'm still sitting here doubting myself.
I'm going to pick Connery.
I am 100% sure it is Sean Connery. Okay. But here we're both going to be wrong.
Let's see. That was correct. Okay. I thought for a minute it was going to be Roger Moore.
That was Connery.
That was what I thought when I said I think I'm wrong.
Last one before he came back in the unofficial James Bond movie. Nobody gives a shit. If you had one nickel and 2 dimes, what the fuck is this?
It's a simple math, baby.
If you had 1 nickel and 2 dimes, how many cents would you have in total? 20, 25, 30, or 15? I'm terrified to get this wrong.
I am too, but I have my answer and it's locked in.
This quizzle has been terrifying for me. I hate it. I'm also locked in at 25.
Me too. And we are both correct on that.
We're flawless so far.
Yeah, it is almost scarier when it's something that like you know for sure, but
it's the I'm going to feel like a fucking asshole if I get this wrong questions.
This is fun. It's what, the 4th or 5th or 6th or 7th quizzle in a row that has a Scotland themed question.
That's true.
Which famous person in history did Mel Gibson play in the film Braveheart? Guy of Gisborne, Robert the Bruce, William Wallace, or Richard the Lionheart? I believe I know this 100% as well, but
yeah,
I mean,
this would be 3 in a row. I know 100%.
This is, I don't know what's going on with the quizzle today, that it's making us this confident. My answer is William Wallace.
My answer is also William Wallace.
And we are both correct.
Wow.
We have both gone 3 for 3.
I might know this. I'm not positive, though. What is the correct name given to the dot on top of the letter I? Thinking of a lowercase I. The uppercase doesn't have a dot, so don't overthink this. Is it a point, speaking of points, an umlaut, a diacritic, or a tittle?
I don't know for sure, but I have my answer.
I have my answer. I feel 60-40.
Yeah, that's, I think, about where I am too. And maybe I just want the opportunity to say it because you got to say it, but I'm going to say tittle.
I think it is a tittle.
All right, let's find out. It is a tittle. We've both gone 4 for 4. Can both of us score a perfect game? Oh, yeah, no, it's definitely not happening now. Which English king was publicly beheaded in front of his palace in 1649? Richard III, James I, Edward VI, or Charles I?
I may know this in like the back of my head. I've got my answer.
Okay.
But definitely less positive.
I'm between 2 of them. When I first read that clue, I thought of a name and it's not one of the 4. So now I'm kind of scrambling to figure out who it could be instead. Um. All right, I have my answer. I'm just
All
going
right.
with the one that I feel like I've heard more about. We'll see if we have different answers.
I think we probably have the same.
What's your answer, Evan?
I'm going to say Richard III.
That's what I'm gonna say. I was between Richard III and Edward VI, but it was
Damn
Charles the First. So neither of us gets a perfect game, but we are
Ouch.
still tied. The score now being 6-6.
I just knew Richard III was a Shakespeare play. I've seen it. But it was a modernized version in the cutthroat business world. Can't just have Shakespeare be regular Shakespeare. That sucks. Oh well, I tried. I'm like Shakespeare, he'd write about someone being beheaded.
Sure.
Sounds
I mean,
like
I think the name I thought immediately was Henry VIII, and I don't even know that he was an English king, but
he must have been, because Henry VIII, I am.
But his name wasn't there, although he
It
was
wasn't.
also Shakespeare.
No, because he got married to the widow next door, and she's been married 7 times before.
Interesting.
Everyone was an enemy. Are you familiar with this song, or am I sounding like an insane person?
You're not sounding like an insane person, but I also don't know the song.
Check it out. Classic.
All right.
Herman and his Hermits? Herman and the Hermits? Herman's Hermits.
I believe it's Herman's Hermits, yeah.
I like Herman
I've
and
heard
his
of them.
Hermits. I believe that's Henry VIII. Classic.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Aloha. Ciao. Auf Wiedersehen.
So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Leaving all of it in.